What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Jakks specific 4-inch spike figure from Wave 37. So we got another new enemy joining the 4-inch Super Mario lineup here. Now I'll be honest, I wasn't too excited about this one, especially since we now know who's in the next wave, which I'm definitely looking forward to. But it's still fine. I get that you have to include everyone in this scale. So let's take a look at the packaging here. So Spike is coming with the PAL block right here, but the packaging, is still standard as the other Super Mario figures. Jakks specific logo there, and then the warning, and then here's at the bottom right there, and then here is the back of the packaging right here. Image of the figure. We got our description read here, and then here is the rest of the figures here in this wave. That's pretty much that, and it does have 8 points of articulation. So that right there was the packaging. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here. Don't expect too much going on with this figure. I wasn't really expecting much when it was first revealed. It's really similar to the smaller figure, and I'm gonna compare it just so you can see it. So here's just the 2.5-inch figure right here. They're really similar with aesthetically, and then with the articulation as well. So the only difference I can really see with these is that the eyes with this one is just a little bit lighter than this one, and then the bottom of the feet, the yellow here, it's more yellow than this one is. But other than that, they're pretty similar. Here's the side view right here, and then here's the back. You still got the black shell, and the white right there, the blue hair. Everything else is the same. They still got that expression. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot. And the articulation is pretty similar too. It's really just a bigger version of this one right here. That's pretty much that. So yeah, that is the, the 4-inch Spike. And, the accessory is the PAL block. You just got a re-release PAL block. I still think they should have gave Spike the, the spiky ball. That's the name, Spike. So, I think they should have thrown that in. I can understand why they didn't throw in the long thing that it throws, that long, I don't know, where it has the spikes around it, because maybe that couldn't fit in the packaging. But I think a spiky ball would have been nice, because we had one that came with Lakitu. They could have done that, but I mean, this wouldn't really scale with this one. I feel like if it was a black spiky ball, it would have scaled a little bit better with the 2.5-inch one. If they were going to include it with this one, I think it would have to be a lot bigger than this, because it does look a bit too small. But I'm surprised they didn't really include that, because that's what Spike usually does, and even the description on the back of the box even says that's what the enemy usually does. So yeah, it's just weird that it just comes with the PAL block, really. But yeah, that's all you're gonna get there. So the articulation. So with this figure right here, what you could do was you can move the arms back and forth. You had a hinge to the shoulder, and then there was a rotation to the wrist, and then the legs, there was a hinge to the side. You couldn't really move it back and forth, but you could swivel the entire leg, and that was all you could do. Now for this one, there's not much else, because you still have the full rotation to the arm. There's a hinge to the shoulder, and then you have a rotation to the wrist, but now you have a hinge to the wrist this time. You have a horizontal hinge, and it has a little bit of movement, just a little bit, not a whole lot really. So it's it's just kind of there. But the hips is a little bit better here. So the hips are actually on ball sockets, so you can pretty much just move them wherever you want, really. You can even put them to the side, forward, and back now. But they also have a hinge for the ankles, I guess. Doesn't really look that great, but you have an option right there with the hinge. It's similar to what they did with Bowser Jr. And that's pretty much that. That's the articulation for the 4-inch Spike. So now you see what I mean by how similar it is with the 2.5-inch figure. Okay, and now for some comparisons, but here is Spike next to Mario and Luigi. So you can see that Spike is going to be here on the short side, compared to how Mario is. And I know Spike is a short character, so I think this is fine enough. I don't know exactly how tall Spike would be. Next, I mean, I know Spike's like really small, but for the 4-inch scale, I think this is okay. I'm just gonna like lean it right here, but yeah, you know, there you go. And then here's one last comparison. I wanted to throw Spike in with some other enemies if you wanted to know how that looks. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Jakks specific 4-inch Spike figure from Wave 37. Don't really have too many negatives with this figure. I only wish that they included more new accessories with new characters, especially characters that you would expect to see with a certain item, because the Mario series has a crap ton of items and power-ups, but a lot of these new figures always get the most common ones in the series. However, let me know what are your thoughts on this figure in the comments down below. If you want to pick it up, it is currently hitting GameStop. That is where I was able to find mine. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Until then, take care, my friends.